Hey everyone, Michael here from Games Done Right. Welcome to part 5 of my Ocarina of Time playthrough. I'm joined by the beautiful Lindsay.
Hello.
And if you watched the 4th video, I just beat inside Jabu Jabu's belly, and I got the spiritual stone. We have the Zora Sapphire, and we're being told by Navi to head over to Hyrule Castle. So this is what happens as soon as we walk up.
Drawbridges.
So we almost get run over by Zelda, and you can see that she chucks something. We miss it and it lands in the moat, and we feel like an eerie presence behind us.
So, tell me who was running away with Zelda there.
That was Impa. That's Zelda's keeper, if you will, and we don't really know why yet until he turns around and sees Ganondorf, the King of Evil. Obviously, I would think trying to get her to safety. And there's been a flashback at one point in the game about Link encountering this guy. And, I mean, you don't really know what happens, of course, until real time right now. And I think it's so valiant that, even as a kid, this guy is like almost 2.5 meters tall. Meters?
Wow.
2.5 meters tall. No, but that he's so much bigger, and he's just like, give me what you got. Like, I'm the hero of time. And I mean, that's why I love the story in this game, is because there's so much history between these two. There's other games like Twilight Princess where you don't meet Ganondorf or Ganon until the very end of the game, and there's no rapport there. So with this, like right in the beginning of the game, you're told about him. Like a quarter of the way through the game right here, he's pissed that he just got wrecked by the King of Evil, but he wants some more. He's ready for more, and the rest of the game is you building up your strength to be able to combat him at some point.
Yeah, there's nothing like defeating an enemy from your childhood.
Exactly. And so we're going to go look at what Zelda threw into the moat. What is it?
The Ocarina of Time.
Definitely, yeah. It's an upgrade for sure from your fairy ocarina. It's the one on the box.
It's purple.
Give me some of that purple stuff. Okay, Breath of the Wild fans. Link, can you hear me? Is that not how all the audio starts off with Zelda in Breath of the Wild? Link, wake up. Link, can you hear me? Link. This is sad. I mean, she's kind of foretelling that when you hear this, I won't be around anymore. And I wanted to leave you a message, but all I could do was this.
Can't get over her Volt eyebrows.
I want Volt eyebrows. This is one of my favorite songs too. It's kind of cool. In Majora's Mask, they brought the Song of Time back, and like a little bit of a different way, but still, you know, that it kind of lives on in that game. So we haven't been to the Temple of Time yet, but we'll go there now. I mean, it's part of the game, we just haven't done it yet.
So that said, you must protect the Triforce. Do you have the Triforce?
I mean, more or less, yes.
Like Harry Potter has a Horcrux?
Yeah. Horcrux. I mean, the Triforce, obviously 3 parts. Link has the Triforce of Courage, yes, but he hasn't really experienced it or like lived it yet. And then Zelda, as wise as she is, I mean, she's foretelling the future here. She has the Triforce of Wisdom, and then Ganondorf, the King of Evil, has the Triforce of Power. And when you first speak to Zelda, when you approach her, she tells you about those three different forces and how when they're wielded together, they can do great things. Like they can create life. But when they're not, you know, they split into three different parts and then they have to be recuperated. So there wouldn't really be the Triforce if somebody good had all three parts. It's when someone evil touches the Triforce that it splits apart. So, I mean, I guess right now you're the chosen one, but you don't really have the Triforce yet, because that hasn't been like, disseminated. And it's such a hard time finding where to play that song right there. This is the third time I've mentioned it. I have drawn all three of these pictures.
They're hanging above our bed. They're very nice.
Yeah, because that Triforce of courage, of wisdom, and of power, most importantly. Zelda lore. Such cool music. I mean, that's the only time that that's played. There it is, the legendary blade.
So is this the same Master Sword from Breath of the Wild?
I mean, maybe. I mean,
like
maybe.
Excalibur.
Kind of. I mean, the Hyrule Historia has split up the Master Sword and like the whole Zelda series into like 3 different lineages, but I mean, game for game, I feel like it has to be. I mean, they don't accidentally use the Master Sword over and over. They don't differentiate it that much that I think they all have to be intertwined some way.
No, he played you.
He did.
I like his eyeliner.
This was before Billy Joel did it.
Billy Idol.
No, Billy Joe.
Oh, Billy Joe. I thought you said Billy Joel.
Look at again with the Breath of the Wild. Link, wake up, Link, the chosen one. I always speak in a British accent when I read these lines, don't I?
You do.
Yeah.
I like it. Isn't that what Andy says in the office? Name repetition, mirroring.
Personality mirroring, name repetition, and smiling. So, I mean, another reason that I'm so fond of this game is how they bring characters back over and over. You don't just meet them once or twice or 3 times. And so this is a character who you haven't met, of course, but makes a reappearance as one of the sages as he's standing in the sacred realm. And it's just more background, and he's telling you, don't be afraid. I mean, things look different, but you're also way better equipped to handle someone like Ganondorf right now.
I was gonna say that character looks like someone who would work in like a gas station store. I feel like I've seen him before.
Like a Valero.
We have really wise gas station store clerks.
Sacred gas station clerks. I just remember that moment when Navi's doing like the flying thing around you and you realize you're an adult, and you had a crappy shield, the Deku shield, and you were waiting for like the Master Sword to use it, and then what happens? You grab it and then nothing. I mean, of course as an adult you can wield it, but every time you go back to a kid you're like, okay, 7 years time travel.
You love time travel.
I do love time travel. If it weren't for time travel, I don't know how much I would like this game. No, it's not so much that. The time travel does play a role in it, but it's the character development, it's the scenery change, it's the maturity of Hyrule that all is like vacuumed into the time travel. So it's not time travel itself, it's everything that is implied with the time travel. So you got your first sage here. I don't know if you can count, but there are several more to be had. I didn't count, so I don't know.
I didn't count either.
But all those other little colored medallions. Find the other sages and save Hyrule. No problem. So, it's been 7 years. We were a kid, and now we've approached and surpassed puberty, and we have the Hylian shield and the Master Sword, and we're back in the Temple of Time. But have 7 years really passed? That's what I ask. Like, so excited to go see what Hyrule's like after this.
Yeah.
And this guy. I thought there was going to be a sick, like, battle scene here.
It does feel like it.
But then they call you the hero of time, and you're like, okay, story time. And you're like, 5 temples? I just spent like 20 hours beating 3. One in a forest, one on a mountain, one in a vast lake. One in the house of the dead. One inside the goddess of the sand. Sand.
You don't want to know how long it would take me at each of those temples. We'd want to do some real time travel.
And so I think Crimson, wherever you are out there, you asked if this is the first time the Sheikah have been mentioned, or Sheik, and the answer is yes. I mean, it's come up in other games, of course, but this is the first time they mention the race. Who's
So
the
this
girl?
is Sheik?
That is Sheik, correct. The blonde, red-eyed person. And I feel like they're like a part of Impa, in that they're just trying to guide you on your path.
I actually thought it was Impa when I first spawned in.
Yeah, so here we are. We're headed to the Forest Temple, or to Kakarika Village, to find our way. Thank you so much for watching. Part 6 is coming up. Until next time, we'll see ya. Tune in. Peace.